President of the University, Professor Aryeh Saban, Rector of the University, Professor Amnon Albeck, Chief Executive Officer of the University, Zohar Yinon, Shlomo Zohar, Chairman of the Permanent Committee, members of the Sachs family, guests, scholars, students, and friends. It's with great honor that we gather this evening to embark on our international conference in the world of ideas, intellectual influence of Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, Zichrono Tzadik Livracha. Over the coming days, we intend to plumb the depths of Rabbi Sachs's political, philosophical, theological, educational, and interreligious thought, and their invaluable influence in a multitude of fields. Indeed, we're looking forward to 38 lectures on the themes of religious extremism, Bible and Parshanut, Jewish philosophy, interreligious theology, sustainability, ethics, and politics. And I can now add that we have 800 participants signed up to this event. Rabbi Sachs said, "Intelligence is the capacity to learn, to adapt, to change, to solve problems, to cope with complexity, to evaluate evidence, to judge, and to create." We believe we are in some ways doing justice to his call for courageous intellectual inquiry. But firstly, hakarat hatov, to all of those who made this possible. To Lady Elaine Sachs, it really means a lot for us that you have flown out for this conference. Your presence here is a great honor for us, and we thank you deeply for joining us. Thank you to Elliot Sachs and Brian Sachs, Rabbi Sachs's brothers, for being here with us. And thanks to you, Elliot, in advance for speaking. The partnership with the Rabbi Sachs legacy has been exceptionally special for us. Thanks in particular to Joanna Ben Arosh, and all of her team for collaboration, cooperation, and partnership. And thanks to you too, Joanna, for joining us here in Israel for the conference, which is particularly meaningful for us. We thank the president of Bar Ilan University, Professor Aryeh Saban, for his support. We are grateful to the British Friends of Bar Ilan University for their support of our conference as well. We thank Dr. Sharon Goldman for all of her hard work in making this happen. We would like to thank Dr. Elisheva Grossman-Stolman and the Argov Center for the Study of Israel and the Jewish People for their support of this event, and as well as the faculties of Jewish Studies and Social Sciences. We acknowledge our media partner for this event, the Jewish News, and we are pleased that this conference has attracted such a great deal of attention in the Hebrew and English-speaking press. I'd like to thank those on the academic committee of the conference, including Professor Chava Tirosh Samuelson and Rabbi Dr. Rafi Zarum. At Bar Ilan, there are many people to thank from many different departments who have helped organize this event. So I'm just going to say some of the names. They're not all of the names, okay? Thank you to Tzipi Kastanovich, and Ora Barak of the Jewish Philosophy Department, Liora Teller of the Political Studies Department, Shani Maimon Shariki, Nati Glikin, Ilana Oberlander, and many others. Our collaboration on this conference began with putting out the call for papers a year ago. Over the past year, Professor Jonathan Reinhold, Professor Hanoch Ben-Pazi, and myself have worked together as a team and brought this to fruition. It has honestly been a genuine pleasure to organize the conference with them, thanks to the good humor along the way, throughout a hectic summer, throughout the World Cup, the Mondial, which got in the way of things a little bit. Thank you to Jonathan Reinhold, Professor, the head of the Department for Political Studies at Bar Ilan. A Talmid of Rabbi Sachs, who had urged him to write about Israel. He's a person of great vision and drive for the entire conceptualization of this conference. This, alongside to paying attention to critical details, qualities which were foundational in the organization of this event. Professor Hanoch Ben Pazi, head of the Department of Jewish Philosophy, was and is one of the first in the Hebrew-speaking world to recognize the relevance of Rabbi Sachs's voice for Jewish moral and societal thinking in Israel in particular. He has led the integration of the thought of Rabbi Sachs within the university, encouraging me just weeks after Sachs's passing to deliver a course on his thought. Although it took time until I agreed, recollecting myself in the aftermath of such a great loss, I taught the course last year, Haguto HaFilosofit shel Harav Sachs, and we have had students learning at the highest level on the Jewish philosophy of Rabbi Sachs. And many of them are here this evening. Under Professor Ben Pazi's leadership and supervision, we now have several Jewish philosophy students writing MA theses and doctorates on Rabbi Sachs's thought, and they are also here this evening, the doctoral students. And in this way, we are possibly the first university in the world to already be integrating Sachs's voice into contemporary Jewish discourse at an academic level. And we hope other universities will follow this example. The good humor aside between the members of our committee, I think it goes deeper. I think we share a profound respect for Rabbi Sachs and what he stood for, and we care passionately about his vision for Judaism, for Israel, for humanity, and its realization. For me, this goes deeper still. For me personally, organizing the conference has been far less of a professional task than one of profound personal meaning. Planning, teaching the course, writing the lectures has allowed me to reflect back on the relationship I was blessed to have with him as my father's childhood friend, my close friend's father. Even as his fame grew on the world stage, meeting the Queen, the Dalai Lama, and others, he remained concerned and faithful to the youth of Anglo-Jewry, his home community, and the travails and burgeoning identity of British Jewish youth. Rabbi Sachs was my mentor, my guide, my teacher for most of my life. He supported me, challenged me, and was responsible for my entry into the world of Jewish philosophy and interreligious thought. We are honored to hold the conference here at Bar Ilan University. I know that others will speak about the special connection he had to our university, which represented for him an institution which was not afraid to hold Torah values alongside scientific research. At his 2018 address here, he noted that the Jewish Studies faculty is one of the finest in the world. I'm proud to be a part of this university, its academic integrity, and its investment in the future of Jewish thought. For Rabbi Sachs, Torah was a blueprint, a guide to life, a testament to the complexity and dynamism of real relationships. One of the narratives with which he found particular affinity is that of Yaakov's nighttime struggle with a stranger. Vayevater Yaakov levado, vayavek ish imo ad alot hashachar. From Rabbi Sachs's translation of the Tanakh, we read, and Yaakov was left alone, and a man wrestled with him until dawn. Vayomer shlacheni ki ala shachar, vayomer lo ashalechacha ki im berachtani. Let me go, said the man, for dawn is breaking. But he replied, I will not let you go until you bless me. This passage does not give the angel a name, but it is clear that Yaakov is wrestling with a divine being. The encounter leaves Yaakov with a permanent injury, but also a new name, Israel, which means one that struggles with God. For Rabbi Sachs, Yaakov's struggle with the angel exemplifies the Jewish encounter with humanity. Jewish thought, he wrote, must continue to wrestle with contemporary culture, the problems of diaspora and the project of a Jewish state, and with the Jewish people as a whole. In this struggle, it must say, I will not let you leave until you bless me. He continues, the biblical Yaakov does not retreat, and this sentence is crucial to the Jewish destiny. The real Yaakov does not wrestle to win or to right, but to learn and to become enriched. Ki sarita. The name of the people is given for this wrestle, but one that ended in a blessing at the least likely moment. The meaning of his interpretation is powerful on many levels for us here this evening. We wrestle with ideas, contemporary values and society. And Rabbi Sachs, from his first works in the 1970s and until his work Morality and Beyond, did precisely this. True research, investigation, chakira, must be undertaken as an act of seeking out truth and wisdom at all costs. We, like Yaakov, are changed by what we learn and what we discover. And we must open ourselves up to being changed by the other, by the angel. I must also say that we, his Talmidot and his Talmidim, have been struggling with the loss of Rabbi Sachs, whose name was, of course, Yaakov. We falter and we limp, but over the course of this conference, we shall stand up and say, Rabbi Sachs, lo ashalechacha, ki im berachtani. We shall not let you leave until you bless us. This conference, together with the articles and the books that will be published as a result of our conversations, represent our tribute and contribution to this world of wrestling and blessing. We are now honored to hear from the President of the State of Israel, Mr. Yitzhak Herzog.